Hello, everyone. I am so excited. I've got people from Paris and Morocco with us today. This is going to be such an exciting discussion. We're talking about goats. We're talking about with Simo Elalj, the founder of You Goat Me, along with Khadija Id Ahmed Ouali, who is one of the students that was helped by these plastic goats. So stick around. You don't want to miss this episode.
Welcome to the Your Mark on the World show with your champion of social good, Devin D. Thorpe.
This episode is made possible via the support of our sponsors, including Johnson & Johnson's Caring Crowd. Simo, Khadija, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, Devin.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
great. Yes, Khadija, it's great to have you here. Khadija, tell us a little bit about growing up in Morocco and how you benefited from plastic goats.
Okay, sure. I would love to. First, thank you so much for having me today with you, Devin. It's a pleasure for me. Okay, so my name is Khadija. I'm growing up in one of the, and my difficulty was having a trouble in going to middle school and high school. I live in a village about like 60 kilometers from where I have middle school and high school. So for us, just going to complete our studies, it was like a dream for us, especially for girls. We had to move to go to the middle school and high school, and there was very difficult for us because our as normal parents want some place safe for their daughter, and for me to come in that 16 kilometers to the middle school and high school to finish to study, it wasn't possible at all. And this is where when we heard about education for all, and it provided houses and all the needs during the year, so we can go there and stay and study during we stay for 2 weeks, and then we go to weekends for to see our family. At the beginning, it was very hard because my family needed somewhere where they can trust me and they see that I am safe, even that I'm staying away. So it was very hard at the beginning, but during the years, they come more trusted, and then they trusted the association and they see how good work they're doing, and we were fine. We were succeeding, for me and all the girls. At that time, we were like 10 girls, and they started with rent an apartment for us to stay in, and there they built houses for us. For now, it's about 5 houses and supporting like 195 girls or around the areas in the Atlas Mountain. And then when I finished like middle school and high school, I graduated in 2013. Then I went to university to study biology and geology. And now I'm completing this year, like having a training to be a teacher of biology and geology for middle school and high school.
Wow.
And the goat was, thanks. And the goats is so one of the amazing stuff that he did, Simo. Thank you so much, by the way,
Of course.
because with education for all, it stayed for those years. It says for those helping for all what they can and doing all what they can to help education for all to go on, and then we can go, more girls can go to study and complete their studies. Okay.
Well, Simo, tell us about the GOAT program
Yes.
with You Goat Me that you've created.
All right. Just maybe a quick background. I grew up in Casablanca in Morocco, and before moving to France for college and then to the United States to work on a startup business. But I always wanted to I was feeling very privileged to be able to grow up in a major city and be able to have access to education. But when I was visited recently Morocco, I was kind of realizing when you go to the rural area, it's not the case, and we shouldn't take education for granted. And especially for younger generations, but for girls, it's very hard for them to be able to access to education easily. So I was thinking about a way how to impact remotely my home country, while like finding some like a creative way or like a fun way to do it. So, and I was like thinking to see like how I can maybe raise fund or like to be able to impact this community in a kind of fun way. So I was seeing like a kind of like there's like a toy online, like a yellow rubber chicken, which made like super popular. It was like very famous. I was like, wow, this is like very interesting way how like this a video that was more than 50 million views. I was like, wow, 50 million people who just saw like a rubber chicken. I was like, that should be interesting, especially like with goats. I'm like a big fan of goats. When like I grew up in Morocco, I can see goats climbing on the trees to eat the nut. And I was like, wow, actually, is there any like way to associate both images about the rubber chicken and like and the goat to be able to have like a squeaky goat? I was like, okay, that's gonna be fun. It's like actually to start like think of manufacturing like Gabby the goat. It's gonna be like it's squeaky rubber goat that's gonna have a mission, and her mission is to be able to provide better education for kids and especially girls in Morocco. So the idea started like a year ago. It was just like thinking about like how to execute on it, and the hardest part for me was like, okay, if I wanted to start like a non-profit and be able to like provide education for people, I couldn't start everything from scratch, and there must be some like something that's already existing that I can actually help and contribute to their success. And I met up with some folks from Education for All, which is like a non-profit that is like UK based, but they're building like boarding schools near the villages in the rural area of Morocco. And I just went to visit them to see like how they operate, so just to be able to say, okay, like if I work with them, like will the money go to the right purpose? And then like I just saw that energy and all the sparkles on the eyes of the girls, because they were like so like motivated to be able to complete their schooling, their education, and they just didn't have the opportunity to do it. And with thanks to the boarding school, they had the chance to stay near like the middle school and high school so that they can complete their education. And Khadija is like one from the earliest of the program, and she went through all the to the like university, and there's some girls that are already like enrolling for master's degree, and without like this whole ecosystem, they wouldn't be able to get access to the education for like at home.
Wow, that's great. So, Khadija, you've been hugely successful in your career. What would life be like for you if you had not been able to afford education with the help of Education for All and You Goat Me?
Well, by now, I would be probably having get married and have 3 or 4 kids. For us being grow in rural areas, the only destination that you have is to get married and have kids. So we learn to do like the basic stuff at the houses, learn to be a housewife, and then you get married and have kids. That's the only destination that we could have. We didn't have any other choice. But with Education for All, we were lucky. For my village and most, like the whole valley of the villages, I was the first one who completed and get her baccalaureate and came to university. At that time, in 2007, I was the only one, but now there is about 5 girls to 6 girls from my village that are completing their studies. And for this year, as I said, there is about 195 girls completing their studies in the houses of Education for All, and about 70 girls at the university. And also the amazing thing that we added for this year is Education for All houses providing lunch for the girls that came like they're near, but they can go home to have lunch at their houses. So it's providing lunch for the girls who are not supported in Education for All houses, but they can came and have lunch and then go back to complete their studies and go in their home at the evening. And I think if it wasn't for Education for All, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be talking to you, which is a pleasure. And also, I hope that we can support more girls and more girls can go and complete their studies.
Simo, you grew up in Morocco there, in Marrakesh, I think you said, and you
Casablanca.
educated in Paris. You're living there now, I guess, splitting time with in San Francisco and all. How has tell us about how your connection to Khadija and her situation. How does that all come together?
So it was mainly about like it's been like almost 8 to 9 years that I left Morocco to study abroad and work abroad, but I still feel like this part of me that's okay, like I left Morocco to live somewhere else, but I still want to help my country grow and change, and especially change the mindset and like women empowerment, especially like for girls. I think there's still like this kind of the cultural part that they don't value much education, especially for girls, and this is something that I really wanted to change, but like just by starting small, with this project, for every sale of a toy, we provide 3 days of housing and education for a girl in Morocco. But like the whole vision is to be able to like scale it to any kind of like situation. It can be like other kind of animals or other kind of stuff for different areas to be able to impact the situation. But it's just a beginning. And I feel that it's also a way to create awareness about the situation. So like having like some fun videos online where people can have like the toy or like playing like I don't know, like the Godfather or like some fun things around, but people can just say, okay, that's funny, but like I want to learn more about this goat. And then we can talk about like this area about like where there's like beautiful like goat trees and stuff. And there's the sad thing about this image is there's 70% of like illiteracy for like young girls. And I think there's also like other situation in other countries, but for me, like that's the connection that I feel more close is like being from Morocco and to just help this community. And I'm sure that's like this kind of initiative that can maybe inspire other people from other countries to be able to change this, like especially the education part on a different area, especially for kids.
Khadija, what are you most proud of having accomplished?
Well, I think I'm proud that I'm still attached to my dream, that I haven't give up, even all like it was very hard for me first to come from a small village where all people know each other, and then come for the center village where there is middle school and high school, and then move to Marrakesh, which is about like 70 kilometers from my village. And then the city, the life in the city, it's not like in the villages. And then now I moved to another city in Casablanca, where I'm staying for this year to be a teacher of biology and geology. So I think what I'm proud of it, that I'm still in my way, even all the changes, even all the time that you see something and all the like the downs when you say I'm so tired, I can't do it anymore. Even all that you think about the people, I think about the people that helped me, and all like so many people that are involved so I can complete this dream and this goal. So it's very inspiring to me, and always I think about all those people who are ready to help me. So, and think also about the girls that when they see me that I'm struggling, and even I'm not giving up, even all the everything, I'm still here and I'm still pushing hard, and I'm still in the way to accomplish more object, more goals, and more things in the life.
Oh, that's great. Well, Khadija, we're grateful that you joined us today, and grateful for the great work you're doing. Simo, you've been at this for a while. You're having a huge impact. You know, you have these roots that give you a connection to these experiences that Khadija has. What's the most important lesson you've learned?
I think like the most important thing that I learned during this process is like it's still like very hard and challenging to be able to grab people's attention, even though like with entertainment and stuff, like there's like a flood of information online, and to be able to raise awareness and like create like some kind of attention, it's like a hustling, and for me it's like we shouldn't give up. That's like one of the lessons that's it's kind of like for me I was kind of like struggling in the middle, okay, like how to build up something from the manufacturing that I never done before, but it's just like a matter of like perseverance. And I think this is like something that I really learned with this project, to be able to persevere, even like it can look very hard and can be discouraging to continue on it.
Khadija, you've told me that you're interested in becoming a middle school teacher in biology, and that you're close to doing that. Why is that important to you? Why do you want to do that?
Well, I think for me, having a problem with studying, and during like the whole way from like primary school to middle school to high school and to university, when we were at middle school and high school, we had the volunteers who stays with us, who come all along the way from different countries and stay with us, teach us like some English and French and help us with our exercise. But we had a big difficulty in understanding like science, like biology and geology and maths and physics. So the first thing is that I want to do is, even that I have the knowledge after studying at the university, but there is a problem of how you're going to get that knowledge to go to the girls and understanding. So that's why I choose teaching. And also I created a group with the girls with education for all that are in my village. So we need a group so we can talk more about education with the children and the kids and all like the students that are from our villages. So this group we meet like in the weekends or at the summer vacation, and we help them with all the subject that they have a problem with it. And we had the problem that how are we going to give that information, so we are older a little bit and we have a lot of information, but you can't just give all that information at once. So that's why I choose teaching, and they did teaching because I want to have that skills of getting information, and they want to help more girls and more like ladies and like boys and everyone. I want to help them with what I have in knowledge, and especially in science. So for now, if I go to one of the boarding houses in education for all, I can do with the girls like biology, geology, physics, maths. I just for biology and geology, but even for maths and physics, I just need to just see what they have in, and I can explain it for them. So I can be very helpful for them at those subjects.
Well, that's great. That's terrific. Simo, what is your superpower?
My superpower is to make the goat sing, the goat father. But like to put, but to put the joke like apart. I think like the superpower should be able to just to grab like any kind of opportunity to be able to like I don't know, to use the passion with like some with the like the skills in the same time to be able to do something fun around it. And I think that's it's kind of like I feel like it's like this superpower just to have this passion to be able to grab and still like hang on some of these projects.
Oh, that's great. Khadija, what is your superpower?
Uh, I think my superpower is being a motivate person. So I try to motivate people whenever I go and try to tell them that it's always like the first step that matters, because for me that first step that was like just coming that 16 kilometers to finish middle school and high school was a difficulty for me, but was the first step. Even that it seems like easy, just 60 kilometers, but that 60 kilometers were very hard for me to make, and just in the minds for my family to came that way and finish my studies. But now I am about 350 kilometers from my village, and I think that's amazing. That makes amazing how important like the first steps are important. And also like being patient. So all my family says that I'm a very patient person, and also my friends. So I think that was my superpower.
Oh, that's great. Well, Khadija, thank you so much for being with us. And Simo, thank you.
Thank you, David.
I recognize you're both busy, but before you go, I wonder if, Simo, you'd take a minute and tell people how they can learn more about You Goat Me and how they can connect with you personally.
Of course. So like You Got Me is like the is like kind of the brand around like this initiative, but like the main character is Gabi the goat. So she have her own Instagram account, like at Gabi the goat official. And anybody can get his own goat, like his own Gabi at yougoatme.com. And we also like selling as well like t-shirts, like the goat tree and like different like goodies that help to support education for girls like in Morocco. So like yeah, so it's on yougoatme.com. And personally, you can reach out at Simo at yougoatme.com as well. So like I'll be happy to answer to any question or anything about it.
Fantastic. Well, Simo, again, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us. Khadija, we're thrilled to connect with you all the way in Morocco. We wish you both every success in your careers and in your work to help educate more young girls in Morocco.
All right. Thank you, Devin, for having us.
All righty. Let's do some good.
At Caring Crowd, we believe everyone has the power to make a difference. Through our crowdfunding platform for community health, we empower passionate people to drive real change. Whether you work for a nonprofit organization, volunteer, or want to get involved for the first time, you can post a campaign on Caring Crowd. Join us, because caring is where change begins.
Thank you for listening. Devin Thorpe's mission is to end extreme poverty, improve global health, and mitigate climate change before 2045 by finding and sharing the stories of those who are doing the most good. You can join with other listeners to accelerate Devin's mission by visiting helpdevin.org right now.